Hi, my name is Grace Homan and I am the owner of Coffee Break. And this is my plan for parking spots to expand in a new outdoor dining area for us. So first I'm going to talk about some safety policies and procedures that we are going to implement. So first off, we're of course going to have everyone wearing masks, the employees at all times, and the customers whenever they're not eating or drinking. We'll also have an infographic and information on how to wear your mask properly over your mouth and nose whenever you are wearing it. We'll also have uncovered tables and chairs 3 feet apart with plexiglass in between, or 6 feet apart without plexiglass. This allows us a lot of flexibility with how many tables we want outside and how much plexiglass we are able to purchase. We're going to have a barcode menu in the middle of a table so we don't have to hand out reusable menus or print as many paper menus. So this lowers our costs for printable menus. We'll of course have them available. People need them. We'll have people order remotely through the scan menu on their phone. They'll get a little text once their order is ready, and then they'll be able to go up to the counter and grab their food or beverage. This just allows us to have as little contact as possible between employees and customers. We'll have hand sanitizer on every table, a temperature screening before they enter the outdoor area, just to make sure they don't have a fever. We'll have employees wearing gloves, and we're also going to revise our employee training. First off, to cover more thorough bussing. So before we used to just wipe down the tables, now we're going to be wiping down chairs, tables, everything on the table that the former customer might have touched. We'll also be talking to our employees how to respectfully confront those customers that might not be following all of our safety protocols correctly, to respectfully ask them to wear their mask properly, not to move chairs, anything that they might be doing, and also how to hold each other accountable so we create a safe workplace for everyone. We'll be having employees wash their hands every 30 minutes in a staggered fashion. High-touch surfaces will be frequently wiped down. If it's too cold outside, if there's a storm, we've learned, especially in the past few weeks, that weather can be really dangerous. So to make sure we will be closing and moving everything inside if there is inclement weather, to make sure that this is a part of our safety plan as well. And lastly, it's important to section off our seating area from the rest of the parking lot so that no distracted driver can come into our seating area, accidentally hit someone, hit a table, anything like that. So we'll be having cement barriers around the seating area. And this is all something we're really excited about. We'll have reflective paint on the barriers to make sure that any distracted driver, it's very noticeable. And the reflective paint will also allow us to add a bit of an artistic element to our seating area. You know, we can draw our logo, we can draw different designs, maybe flowers, some coffee, and we think it might even be able to draw the eye of people driving by the strip mall and even get them into our coffee shop. So we're really excited about that. And that is our safety plan, all the new policies we're going to put in place. So I think as we expand into outdoor dining, it's important to identify potential security issues with outdoor seating. The main one that I can think of is definitely stealing. You know, if we have stuff outside, we can't move all of that, especially our bigger equipment like tables and chairs inside every day. So one thing that we're going to do to prevent this is to lock equipment together. If a thief wants to steal a chair, they're a lot less likely to steal that chair if it's locked to 3 other chairs and a table. So we'll just have chains and padlocks. We can put this together pretty easily every night. We're also going to place all easily movable equipment back indoors just to, you know, do our best to lock that stuff up that's easy to bring inside. We'll also have one security camera that surveys the outdoor area and also a sign advertising that security to deter potential thieves. And we're also going to look into expanding insurance, if it's not already a part of our plan, to cover theft from an outdoor area. So we're going to be looking into insurance as well. So now I'm going to talk about our overhead operating costs and how the pandemic space restrictions have affected that for our business. So an overhead cost is a cost that's not dependent on how many customers we have in or how much food or coffee that we sell. So this for us is rent, it's insurance, it's equipment. An operating cost is a cost dependent on how many customers we have in or how much we sell. So this is labor, because we pay our employees on an hourly basis, food, coffee, any other beverages or food that we have, and any disposable supplies like napkins, disposable silverware, stuff like that. So for us, the overhead costs will not go down. So no matter if we have less customers or not, we still have to pay the same amount of rent, the same insurance, and the same equipment. If anything, the overhead costs could increase if we want to invest in plexiglass equipment, if we want to increase the amount of insurance coverage we have for the outdoor dining area. So if anything, overhead costs increase for us with the space restrictions, but they definitely will not decrease. Now, for operating costs, we can reduce some of these with less customers. For example, we don't always need as many employees on the clock as we did previously with more space restrictions. So we can have less employees, so that lowers our labor costs just a little bit. We can also, buy less food or less coffee to keep in the shop at one time, just because we don't need all of it. And then the other supplies that I mentioned, like disposable napkins, all that stuff, that we can reduce costs on that. But also, some of those costs might increase because we need to buy safety materials like hand sanitizer and masks, etc., just stuff like that. So operating costs kind of vary. They can go down, but they can also go up for us. So now I'm going to talk about some new services we're going to provide our customers in the outdoor seating area. I think the thing that I'm most excited about and the team is most excited about is that we're going to plan on segmenting our dining area so it caters to 3 main groups of people who might come into our coffee shop in a normal day, non-pandemic. So first, we're going to have the uncovered open tables. This is what I was referring to earlier with the 3 feet with plexiglass for 6 feet, no plexiglass. They're uncovered open tables. And it's going to kind of provide a normal workspace or eating space for people who might come in, bring their laptop or some paper, do some homework. It's going to cater to that kind of group, drink their coffee, do some work. And then the second out of 3 dining areas we're going to have is these plastic domes. They've been using these a lot in restaurants outdoor for a little bit of an extra cost. This really caters to a group because you don't have to wear masks inside the little dome. And it's also warmer or cooler depending on the temperature because it's more easy for us to control the temperature in a dome that's not exposed to the outdoor elements. And then so our third section is going to be an armchair, couches with some fire pits, depending on how much space we have for that, and blankets. This is going to be kind of a cozy section. And it's a place where you can curl up, sip your coffee with some friends, even maybe bring a laptop and do some work. So we think that these 3 sections are going to cater great to our normal array of customers. So we're also going to have heat lamps outside, maybe misting lamps, misting towers if these restrictions continue into the really warm months. We're going to have outdoor outlets, and we're going to sell sun shielding computer screens. We think these 2 things are really going to help bring in the crowd who wants to work, but a lot of times it's a lot harder to work outside in the sun. So we hope these 2 things will help cater to them. We're going to have an awning that helps with shade, also covers for rain, especially over the armchair couch area. We don't want that stuff getting ruined by the weather. And if anyone has any questions, they can always text the same number that texted them that their food is ready. So we'll have kind of a text hotline because we want to be attentive to our customers still without having employees walking around or having customers have to flock to the indoor area to get questions answered from employees or maybe an order corrected. We'll also have seat cushions just to make sure all of our outdoor customers are comfortable. We want to still make it a great environment to sit outside. So now I'm going to talk about some internal and external service standards and how they're going to change due to the pandemic. So the external service standard is how we treat our customers. And I don't think there's going to be a ton of changes here because we're still going to be respectful and kind to everyone who comes in. This has been an important service standard for us since our business has been established. I think one big change that it is going to bring is that we're going to be a lot more attentive to safety and sanitation. If a customer does not feel safe there and they have a reason why, we want to make sure we take that into consideration, maybe making a change so we can make sure that everyone feels safe when coming into our space, eating, drinking, working, anything that we cater to. And we still want to make sure that even though we have all these safety restrictions, we have to do stuff a lot differently. We still want to provide fast, attentive service to everyone. Now, an internal service standard is how employees are treated. And we want to make sure, especially now in the pandemic, that we hold each other accountable. So we create a safe workspace for every employee at coffee break. So if someone's not wearing their mask correctly, maybe it's under their nose, knowing how to respectfully ask, hey, Brendan, do you mind pulling your mask over your nose? And just making sure we have that safe work environment where everyone feels comfortable around each other, comfortable enough with each other to hold each other accountable on being safe and following our safety protocols. And of course, that starts at management. So having good management that makes that change from the top is important. And just being empathetic and kind with all of our employees, just to make everyone feel safe in this space and happy to continue working at coffee break even with all the changes. So that concludes my proposal for our outdoor seating. I really hope that you give us a chance to get some parking spaces so we can expand. We think that it's really going to benefit our business, especially in the pandemic. Thank you so much.